roll for part two. No, this way. So my name is Peter Mastriani. I'm the founder and the director of The Buyer's Guide, and I'd like to say a very big warm welcome to David Kaity, who's the managing director of Revolutionary Real Estate, who is on a journey to disrupt the real estate industry by basically empowering vendors to give them an alternative way to sell their property and to avoid having to pay a commission to real estate agents. So David, tell us, what's the journey all about for a vendor? You know, why do they not necessarily need to use a real estate agent?
Yes, thank you, Peter. Through the journey that we've taken over the years, we've discovered that real estate agents don't sell properties. There's a recipe that does that, and this recipe doesn't care who follows it, which means you don't have to pay a commission when it comes time to sell your property. And the recipe consists of 3 steps: presentation, pricing, and promotion. If followed correctly, you'll always achieve a fantastic result. And as I said, at a much, much lower cost, so you don't have to pay commission to achieve that result. And this is what we're about. So as a buyer, when you're buying a property, you'll notice that it's not actually a real estate agent that sells you that property. You walk in, you have a look, you like what you see, you put an offer in, maybe it gets accepted, maybe you need to negotiate, but at the end of the day, you're buying that property and it's not being sold to you. Big difference between the two. So keep that in mind when you're buying, and therefore when you're selling, because if the agent is not selling you that property, you don't need an agent to sell it yourself.
It's pretty controversial saying that real estate agents don't actually sell property. I imagine that would get quite a lot of them offside, but if it is as simple as a 3-step process, what other value do real estate agents perhaps bring to the process if it is easily rectifiable?
The reason why a lot of people use real estate agents is because of this myth that they sell property. And they are salespeople, but it's not property they sell. They sell 2 things: themselves to get the listing, and unnecessarily expensive marketing packages.
Yeah, sure.
So you need to keep that in mind when you are dealing with an agent. And you certainly don't need to use one to sell your place. And that's what this alternative is about.
So hypothetically, how much could a vendor actually save by not using a real estate agent on an average style dwelling, let's say?
On about a $600,000 property, there's about $15,000 worth of savings.
Which is substantial.
Absolutely. You know, it's a house full of furniture, it's a new car, it's an overseas cruise, potentially
$15,000 off your debt. Yeah,
absolutely. Or potentially deposit towards your next property.
Great. Thanks a lot, David.
Pleasure.
Yeah, that was good.